So you've got your classroom reward system all set up, but now you're wondering what to reward students for and when. In this second video of our Classroom Reward System series, we take a deep dive into how students earn their points, when they should get paid, and how to determine the values of your rewards. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to Mr. Cook's Corner, Education for Educators. We're here to provide you with the tools you need to grow in your teaching craft. If this is your first time watching, welcome aboard. Please consider subscribing and liking our videos if you enjoy what you see today. So if you missed the first part of our series on implementing a token economy in your classroom, be sure to check that out first here, so you can get all caught up and on the same page with where we're going today. Okay, so what are students doing to earn their tickets or points? Do you pay them on the spot, or do you wait until a set time? How much should your rewards cost? Laying out the groundwork up front is crucial to automating your system and ultimately making life easier for you throughout the school year. Let's take a look at what your kiddos will earn points for. First up, what they get paid for. The paycheck. Okay, so one of the primary things that you're going to want to pay your kids for is their classroom job. You have to establish something for them to be doing on a week-to-week basis that is akin to what they might be doing as adults, earning a paycheck. It's crucial that you have at least one job per student. So if you have 25 kids, you're going to want to have 25 classroom jobs. If you're looking for some ideas on some classroom jobs, take a look at this. As you can see here, I've got some examples of some possible classroom jobs that you might want to use in your classroom. If you're at all interested in getting a copy of these for yourself, check out the links in the description below to claim your copy. Once you give each student a job, it's important that you rotate it weekly. That way, every kid gets a chance to do every single job. Now, if you've got 25 kids and there's 36 weeks in the school year, some kids are going to have the same job twice eventually, and that's okay. I like to start the year off by having a system where they get to take turns picking. I'll pull a number out of a stick jar, and whoever gets that number gets to pick the job first. It's a good way to set the tone and establish some culture with your classroom. A second thing that you might consider paying your kids for is returning things from home. Parent signatures in a daily planner, or things that went home like a permission slip or something that needs to be signed or returned by your parents. Those are all good ideas of ways to pay your kids for doing their job. A third great idea for paying your kids is for maintaining a clean environment. That means desk area, cubbies, and backpacks. At the end of each day, when the kids are gone, you just scan the room, and if their desk area is neat, their chairs stacked, their backpack stuff is put away with no crumbs or food on the floor, that counts as a clean environment, and they get paid for it on that day. One last good thing that I like to pay for is having a clean sheet. What a clean sheet is a soccer reference to not giving up any goals during a game. You didn't get scored on, you gave up no points. Same way, this works with behavior. You have a behavior clean sheet if you didn't have any issues that day. Once you get through an entire week, if they maintained a clean sheet through the entire week, you can add on to that as well. Before we move on, here are some things not to pay your kids for, and this is super important that you follow through on this. Number one, first and foremost, is homework and task completion. You're not paying kids to do work at home, and you're not paying kids to complete tasks that are already expected of them. If you tie in paying a kid for a job of doing homework, you're going to establish that relationship of when I need to do something for homework or when I need to do something to complete a task, I'm going to get paid for it. When realistically, this is just a classroom expectation. A second thing along those lines is paying kids for good grades. We want to pay attention to the effort that they put in, and we want to pay attention to how hard they're trying at something. That's the goal, not the final score. Kids are naturally going to fall on that learning curve and on that grading curve, and we don't want to end up paying them for getting a good grade, especially for kids who just aren't naturally going to get that mark. The last thing you don't want to be paying kids for individually is for setting an example, or what we call shout outs, or caught you being good. What this does is singles a kid out. It creates resentment amongst his or her peers, and it's embarrassing for them all around. What you can do though is use your whole class rewards for this. If a kid is caught doing something awesome, celebrate it as a class. Hey Johnny, I can't believe you just did that. You held the door open for her when she had her books full. That's amazing. Please put a marble in the classroom jar. That way, the class is happy that the kid did something amazing, and they're celebrating him, not, oh, I can't believe that he got a point for that, stupid Johnny. Make sure you differentiate between whole class rewards and individualized rewards. The entire point of the paycheck system is to pay kids for fulfilling responsibilities that you've established in your classroom. Next up, when to pay your kids. This one's really up to a teacher's discretion. You might want to pay a kid daily, but honestly, that starts to add up and it gets a little tedious. My personal preference is once per week. And usually we do this on a Friday at the end of the week when you can tally up everything that the kids have done throughout that given week. One great way to do this is to have a template of a checklist that you can have copies of, and at the end of the week you bring each kid up and you go through that checklist one at a time. That way you can show and review with them how they've done for a given week. Again, if you take a look at the links below in the description, I've actually made a template that if you want to use. What's great about meeting with each kid at the end of the week for 2 to 3 minutes is that it's a fantastic way to check in and talk about progress and celebrate victories and then discuss about things that they may need to work on for that week. It's a great way to have that bonding moment with your kid and continue to build your classroom up while paying them at the same time. Quick pro tip, once you've checked in with every kid, you can open up your store at this point and then you can have them make their purchases at the same time. You've distributed your payments for the week, they're gathering up their points and their tickets, they're counting up what they have, then you open your store and let them cash in. 2 birds, 1 stone. Takes 15 to 20 minutes max at the end of the week. It's a great way to start your Friday morning. Before we go into the last part, I want to mention the comment and question section below, and I'm going to throw out a question of the week for you guys. What are some of your favorite classroom management techniques when using a token economy system? Let me know in the comments below and share with your friends so we can all collaborate together to make our classroom environment a better place. Part 3. How much should things cost? Okay, so up to this point, you have taken the time to establish what are some things that kids want to earn. You've also established how are they going to earn it and how often are they going to get paid. The crucial last step is making sure that you sync up the value of the rewards with the amount of money or tickets or points that your kids are earning each week. The best way to go about this is to set up 3 different categories. Category 1, weekly purchases, or cheap things that they can get any old time. Category 2 would be things that kids may be able to purchase once a month or once every month and a half to 2 months. And the last category, category 3, is the hard to get, the major purchases. This may take a semester, it may take a whole year to save up for something big. You want to save your big guns for that, but you want it to be something that they can aspire to. So how exactly do you go about doing this? Well, it's pretty simple actually. What you want to do is you want to determine the typical maximum amount for 1 week. So let's take a quick example at the template that I'm using just to multiply this out. As you can see using our example, it comes out to about 10 tickets per week if they max out. So use that as your baseline. Your cheap things you're going to want to price somewhere between 5 and 10 tickets. So for example, you have some really cool gel pens, but you only have 30. Maybe you price that towards the 10 range. Or if you have a bunch of cool pencils that you got on stock and you have tons of them, maybe you put it closer towards the 5. Continuing on with our example, if you multiply that out, 10 tickets max in a week times 4 to 5 weeks, that comes out to 40 to 50 tickets for those mid to major purchases. So you may end up ranging things from 50 to 75. So those things like lunch in the classroom with a teacher, you're not going to be doing that every week. That's something that's special. It's a once a month type deal. You price that around 50. Kids can save up for it. Looking in our final category, the major purchases, that's where you're going to want to really up the ante. We're talking 200 to 300 tickets. That's going to take a good couple months to save up for, if not more. So the final step for you in this process is to go back to that list you created that we made back in video 1. You've got the list of rewards. You need to put them into those 3 categories. Now, when we're talking about the major rewards, you may not have as many, and that's okay. You only have 2 or 3. But that's what they're aspiring for. As always, we hope you've gained some value from our content today. Be sure to check out our last video in the series on the end of year auction. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, leave us a comment, and let us know about future videos you might want to see. Also, be sure to check out our newest videos whenever we post them. See you next time on Mr. Cook's Corner. Bye.